Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday mat yoga practice that's sponsored by YMTP, also known as our Yoga Mindfulness Teacher Preparation Program. My name is Beverly Logan, and I am the co-director of YMTP, along with my colleague, Stephen Stroh. I want to also let you know that it's raining. What a wonderful time to just stretch and relax and breathe. And in order for us to do that, I want to send it over to our YMTP certified yoga and mindfulness teacher, Kelitha, straight from Brooklyn, who will help us stretch today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelitha Spence-Bisi coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York, from Crown Heights, Brooklyn. And for today's practice, I would like to start with a quote from James Baldwin to get into the energy of the day, and also a moment of silence for those who have lost family members due to racial injustice and COVID-19. So as we begin, I'll start with a quote by James Baldwin. He says, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed unless it is faced." And now we will begin our moment of silence. Thank you. As you join me, I'm going to ask you to find a comfortable seat. And the way that we would do that is by finding your sit bones and just feeling your sit bones pressing into your seat and making sure that you're comfortable. In finding that comfortable seat, I'll also invite you to feel your spine and notice your spine. Notice the elongation of the spine and feel it reaching up to the crown of your head. And you can lower your gaze to the ground or close your eyes completely as we start to bring our attention inward. As we bring our attention inward, notice your breath, notice your breathing, and don't demand anything of your breath just yet. Don't ask it to do anything, but just let it breathe naturally, all on its own. Let the body do what it naturally knows how to do. And as you quiet yourself and still your body and your presence, invite your attention inward and take a deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. Take another deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. On your next breath, I'd like you to notice where the breath flows throughout your body. Notice how it moves through your nostril, through your throat, down to your lungs, and then into your belly. And exhale, releasing the breath. Take a deep breath in, gathering up your day and all that came with it, and letting it all go with a sigh. Deep breath in, breathing into your heart space, allowing healing, allowing freedom, allowing peace, and exhaling all tension. On our next breath, let's notice our temples. Notice our forehead. Notice the crown of our head. And notice how it's feeling. If there's any tension there, if there's anything that causes you to feel stress, frustration, or pain, I invite you to release that right now. As you take your next breath, be present here and now, in this room, in this space, in this body. Feel how grounded you are. Feel how accepted you are by you. Feel how loved you are by you. And just be who you are in this present moment. Just allow your body to breathe on its own as we notice the crown of our head and how it feels. Notice the breath as it travels to our shoulders, our elbows, our wrists. Notice the breath as it travels to our hips, our thighs, our knees, our ankles, and the soles of our foot. Let it travel back up through your body, through your feet, your ankles, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your back, releasing all tension, your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists. Just letting go of anything that would cause anxiety, anything that would cause stress, and relax the body completely. Relax the body wholly to be free to be yourself. Now I'm going to invite you to just let your breath breathe and come back into the room and join me back in the room. And as you join me back in the room, let's lift our arms up over our heads and turn to our right side, looking over our right shoulder, breathing into our backs, stretching out our backs, stretching out any pain, loosening up the muscle. Let's flow to our left side, doing the same, looking over our left shoulder and breathing into our back. Allowing the body to connect with the mind and the breath. Allowing that peace to flow through you. Reach up over your head, interlacing the fingers and pushing up, folding forward to stretch out the back and stretch out your thigh. Just breathing into it. Bringing your arms up, let them flow gently down the sides, and then interlace the fingers in the back, and stretch out your back and arch your back, lifting your heart to the sky, your head back, breathing into your lungs. Feel the satisfaction in the stretch, in the breath, allowing the body and the breath to flow as one, and releasing your mind of anything that holds it captive. Now release your arms gently to the side. Take another breath. Take a few moments to feel the difference in your body, to feel the difference in yourself. And from this pose, and from here, we're going to put both legs straight out in front of us. And we're going to do a pose called seated pigeon pose. In order to do that, we're going to bring our right leg up and put it over our left leg. And then if we can, we're going to bring the left leg up and just hold it there, and you can press into it or you can leave it as such. A modification for this movement will be to just leave the leg laying on the floor. Leave the left leg down and just leave it laying on the floor and lean forward into it. You could even bring it lower and lean forward into it. But right now we're going to be here. And as we're here, we want to remember to breathe. We want to notice how our breathing has changed in being in this pose and what muscles you feel stretching. And just take a moment to feel that as we explore our seated pigeon pose. Breathe into it. And if you want, you can take the hands and release them to your sides and just lean back. Deep breaths, making sure you have access to that breath. Okay, and when you're ready, you can lower the left leg and then take the right leg and lower it next to it. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So I want you to bring that left leg in, put it over your right leg. Now, and you can stay there, or you can go ahead and stay even lower and just lean forward and feel the stretch in your muscles, feel the breath. Or what you can do is you can bring that feet up and then bring it up again, and then reach your left hand through the leg and just grab hold. And take a couple of deep breaths there. The purpose for really getting into this pose is so that there'll be a release of emotion that we often hold in our thighs, that we often hold in our hips. And when we do these hip openers, we release those emotions, we release those tensions, and healing can take place. So you can just go ahead and lean into that. Feel the difference. When you're ready, go ahead and lower your right leg and then allow the left leg to meet it. You can kind of shake it out a bit. Now we're going to try that again on our own, and we're going to go at our own flow and our own pace so we can access our own emotions and our own healing. So let's go ahead and go. You can follow me or go at your own pace. You're welcome to do so now. And please don't forget to breathe. Nice big breath. Shake that out. When you're ready, I want to ask you to join the two soles of your feet together to join me in a pose that's called bound angle pose. And as you join the two soles of your feet together, you can go ahead and grab them with your two hands and just lean forward slightly. And you're going to feel a stretch right here in your inner thigh muscles. It'll open up the hips as well. You can lean forward. You can slightly push down if you'd like. Push down on the other side if you'd like. And just go ahead and open up the hips even further, stretching that out. Accessing any emotions that need to be accessed. Remembering to breathe and joining the body with the breath. Shake that out a bit. And you can go ahead and put both feet forward and just shake it out a bit more. When you're ready, let's join each other in tabletop position. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your knees flat on the floor, hands flat on the floor, and truly feel your hands being grounded into the floor, into your mat. And then as we breathe in, we're going to breathe into cat and exhale into cow. We're going to go ahead and breathe into cat and exhale into cow. We're going to breathe once more into cat and exhale into cow. And then we're just going to rock back and forth, rocking the hips back and forth, just feeling and noticing the difference in our bodies. Feeling and noticing the difference in that. Then I'm going to invite you to take your left hand, reaching it up to the ceiling or to the sky, looking at it with your eyes, and then bringing it down slowly and going between your right hand and your right thigh. We're going to thread the needle and lay gently on our mat. If you can't get fully through threading the needle, it's okay to just stay here and just lean this way. Or it's okay to lay down like this. Be mindful of any injuries you may have and do whatever makes you feel comfortable. As we thread the needle, we're going to breathe into our backs and exhale out. Breathe into our backs and exhale out. Take your time. There's nowhere to be in this moment but here. No one to support but you. We're going to take a moment to be selfish and take care of ourselves. Then as you unwind, join me back in tabletop position, and let's do that again on the right side, reaching our right arm up to the sky, turning out our chest and our torso, looking and gazing at our hand, then bringing the hand back gently and going through and laying on our shoulder. Breathing into the back. Breathing into the back. Resting down all your cares and your burdens and taking hold of your breath. Take your time. Seize this moment to take care of yourself. Then I'm going to ask you to join me once more in tabletop position. Feel the difference that feels in your joints. Feel the difference in that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to roll to the balls of our feet. We're going to slowly walk out as we go into our plank pose. And as we're in plank pose, we want to just notice how the body is engaged, how the abdomen is engaged. And then when you're ready, you can lower the knees, the hips, and the tummy and lay down flat. Through there, we're going to go into our next pose, and please don't forget to breathe. On the next breath, we're going to go into our next pose, which is upward facing dog. So we're going to breathe in as we raise up and lift the heart up to the sky. Just lifting the heart, leaving our torso engaged with the ground. Everything else engaged with the ground, lifting the heart, arching the back, lifting our eyes and our gaze up to the sky. And take a few moments to breathe. Breathing into the back. And exhaling with a sigh. Breathing into the heart. And exhaling with a sigh. Now I'm going to ask you to release that back to laying down flat. And then you can go back into your plank pose. And then from your plank pose, you're going to slowly walk the legs up forward into your downward facing dog. And as we are in downward facing dog, I want you to take hold of your breath and your breathing, engaging the muscles, engaging the breath, and marrying the body and the breath. Now you can start to walk your feet forward into our forward fold. Breathing into our backs. Rolling up to our pike position or pike pose. And just stretching the back and making sure it's flat. Engaging our back muscles, engaging our back, and elongating the spine to reach to the crown of our head. Breathe in. Exhale out any anxiety and tension. Breathe in everything you need. Exhale anything you don't need. Then release back into forward fold. And we're going to roll our bodies up, lifting the arms to the sides. And let them flow back to the sides gently. And feeling our feet planted in the ground. Feel our toes, our feet, our hands. And meet me back in mountain pose. Now feel the difference in your body. Notice what there is to notice. Maybe you notice a huge difference. Maybe you notice nothing at all. Whatever it be, just let it be and leave it there. Now we're going to take that one more time and we're going to go to the beat of our own drum, or you can follow along with me. On our next breath, let's lift our arms up over our head, breathing in, and let it fold forward into our forward fold, breathing out. I like to take that again. Breathing in, and breathing out. Let's go up to our pike position, or our pike pose. And then release back into our forward fold. Breathing into our backs, breathing into our lungs, letting the breath flow to every part of the body it needs to be at to sustain us. Then we're going to place our hands gently on the ground, walking our feet back on the balls of our feet, placing our heels flat, and if we can't, that's fine too. Into our downward facing dog. And we're just going to breathe. Combining the breath with the movement. Then we're going to walk our hands forward and go into our plank pose. And we're going to stay here for a moment to engage the abdominal muscles. Engage the back. Remember to breathe. When you're ready, you can release it, lowering the knees, the abdomen, the stomach, and the chest. From here, we're going to push up from our hands into our upward facing dog. Remember to leave the hips engaged with the floor, and you can leave the feet down, the knees down, the thighs down. From here, Let's push up through our chest, lifting our hearts to the sky, arching our backs, and setting our gaze upward. With a deep breath, breathing into our backs. And exhaling anything that we don't need. Deep breath, again, breathing into our backs. And exhaling whatever we don't need. And just stay there for a moment. Nowhere else to be but here, taking care of yourself. Nothing else to do but here, being here, taking care of yourself. Go ahead and release down to the ground, face flat on the ground, and release that downward facing dog. Then I'm going to invite you to go back into your plank pose, walking the feet forward into downward facing dog. And as we're in downward facing dog, I want you to hold this. We're going to do something different. What I'm going to ask you to do is just slightly lift the left leg and just hold that for another moment, engaging the abdominal muscles, straightening the leg, reaching back, and breathing. Then we're going to release, and we're going to straighten the right leg. Breathing into the forward into our forward fold. Lifting up to your pike position and pike pose. Then releasing again into your forward fold. With everything within you, take in that breath, lifting the arms up to the side and release it with a sigh. Now just notice how your body feels. Let it just be in the moment. Let it stay there for a moment. Notice the difference that you feel. Notice how it feels. And just breathe. Let your body do what it naturally knows how to do. Now, from here, what I'm going to ask you to do is lift your right leg and start some hip openers again. Just start to round that leg as we prepare to go into our next pose. And you could circle back, circle back, circle back, and then just let it push and press into the ground. Feel your toes on the ground. Our next pose is going to be tree pose. And what you're going to do is you're going to lift the right leg and you're going to either bring it to your left ankle or bring it up to your left knee. Or for those of you out there who can do it, you can bring it all the way up to your thigh. I feel most comfortable about here. For everyone, just do what makes you feel comfortable. We can bring our arms out to the side, or we can raise up our heart and our breath and bring our arms to the center. Now, as you're in the center, I want you to feel that balance. Feel that balance and have it represent whatever balance you need today in your life. Have it represent whatever balance is needed every day to move forward. And just breathe into your back. And when you're ready, you can release it to the side into our Warrior Two pose. Now in our Warrior Two pose, we don't want to overarch our knee, reaching over the big toe. We want to be able to see our big toe and see our knee. And the back leg, we want to keep the toes and the feet parallel as the front leg, well, the toes and the feet horizontal as the front leg is parallel. And then we're going to go ahead and lean into that. And as we lean into that, we want to gaze over our fingertips, looking out at whatever we need to look out at to sustain us this very moment. Remembering your breathing, remembering to engage our muscles, engage the breath, and accessing what our body and our mind needs for this moment. From Warrior 1, we're going to go into Reverse Warrior by taking our left hand or our opposite hand, our back hand, and placing it on our lower thigh. Then we're going to take the front hand that we're gazing out at, and we're going to bring it over our heads and have our bodies and our hearts arch back. And you can gaze over at the fingertips. All the while breathing. All the while accessing your breath. And when you're ready, allow it to flow back forward, elongating the palms of your hands, elongating your back arm. And then you're going to take your back leg and you're going to let it be parallel to the front leg. And we're going to go into our Warrior 1 pose. And we're going to stretch. And you should feel the stretch in your upper thigh right here as we go into our Warrior 1. And as we breathe and we stretch and engage the muscles and open up our hips, stretch out our backs that maybe have been sitting in a chair all week, at a computer, at a desk. Let's just stretch it out. Take a moment for you. It's all about you right now. It's all about you in this moment. And then we're going to release that by turning the feet facing front parallel. And we're going to do a wide angle or wide leg forward fold. And just reach forward in front of you. Doing a wide leg forward fold. And just feel the stretching in your hamstrings and the back of your legs, however, wherever it may be. And what I'm going to ask you to do is just walk the hands to the left side to feel that stretch even further. And just clasp your ankle as you walk over to the left side and grab hold of that. Never forgetting to breathe and access your life source. Allowing the body, the mind, and the breath to meet. Go back to the center. So let's walk our hands over to the right side. Not forgetting to breathe. Not forgetting to live. Not forgetting to just be. Walk our hands back over to the center. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our right foot and just turn it back out the other way. And then we're going to grab hold of it on the inside. And we're going to take our left hand. We're going to reach it out, turning the chest and the torso facing forward. And we're going to reach it out and we're going to gaze at our hand. And this is our triangle pose. As we're in this pose, feel the difference. Notice what muscles it stretches. Notice how it gives you access to your breath. Notice your breathing. Notice whatever there is to notice. Deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Then we're going to go back down. Face the legs forward and then walk them back in so we can go ahead, shake them out a little bit if you need to. Go ahead and stand in our mountain pose. Feel the difference between the side that you just worked out and also, for me, it's my left side. Feel the difference between the side you just worked out and the side that we're about to embark on. Notice whatever there is to notice. feel whatever there is to feel. And if it's nothing, that's fine. And if it's something, just let it be. Now, we're going to take our left foot and we're going to start again with those hip openers. Just circling in an outward motion. You can put your hands out to the side. And then we're going to reverse it coming in, or you can put your hands on your hips as well. If you can't do that, you can also modify it by just circling lower to the ground so there's less resistance. And when you're ready, just place the foot flat on the ground as we go into our tree pose. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take the sole of the left foot and join it with the right ankle. Or you're going to reach up to your right thigh, your right knee, wherever your feet is comfortable being placed. And you're going to just rest it there. Then you can move your arms out to the side, or you can bring it up, lifting your heart to the sky and bringing it down to the center. And as you balance, continue to keep in mind what needs balancing, what needs healing, what needs gentle attention in your body. And remember to breathe in and breathe out. From our tree pose, I'm going to ask you to release it into our warrior two pose. And you can adjust the body as it's needed. Our back leg is going to be horizontal, that being our right leg. And then our front leg is going to be parallel. And we're going to allow the arms to flow out forward, back arm, front arm, and we're going to gaze over our fingertips. And you can lean into that stretch a bit, but making sure that we don't overextend the knee over the toes. We're just going to lean into that arch and feel the stretch in our thighs, the stretch in our glutes, the stretch in our backs, and just lean into that. Breathing in and exhaling. Once more, breathing in and exhaling. And then from there, we're going to go into our reverse warrior by grabbing the back of our thigh and bringing our arm up over our head and gazing again at the fingertips, arching the back, letting our heads go back and breathing. The whole time accessing our breaths. Then we're going to release that back into our warrior two pose. From there, let's take a moment and just wait, actually. And breathe. And notice our body. Notice what it feels like to be us. To just be present. Feels good. Okay. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to move the back leg parallel to the front and face it forward. Have them both facing parallel. And we're going to go into our warrior one pose. Bring the arms up alongside, arching the back and bringing the heart to the sky. Just breathing, being free, being you, just breathing. Accessing the breath. I'm going to ask you to release that, turning both feet forward as we go into our wide legged forward fold. Slowly reaching forward to the center. We're going to walk our hands to the right side and grab hold of our ankles to feel a deeper stretch. You should feel it in your back hamstrings and your back of your thighs. Just breathe into that stretch. Breathe into the healing, the freedom you need. Just breathe into it. Release it back to the center. And walk your hands over to the left leg. Breathing into that stretch. Accessing your breath. Now I'm going to ask you to turn that left leg out and then grab hold of the ankle with your left hand, taking your right hand and reaching up to the sky, turning out your torso and your chest and gazing up at your right hand for our triangle pose. Just pause there for a moment, noticing the difference in your breath and your body. Now release that hand back down, grabbing hold of the ankle, turning the leg back in, go back to the center of your forward fold, breathing in and exhaling out, connecting the breath with the body once more. It's all about you in this moment. Taking hold and grasping the breath in the body. Now when you're ready, bring that up, rolling through your spine and lifting the arms over your head and releasing them to the side once more. Walk your feet in. You can loosen them up and stretch them out. You can swing the arms and just start to wind down. And now for our moment of rest, I'm going to ask you to stand with me here in mountain pose and just notice and now for our moment of rest, we're going to stand here in mountain pose and just notice the difference that you feel in your body. Notice the difference that you feel in your breath. Notice how your mind feels. Don't you feel a bit lighter? If you don't, that's fine too. Sometimes it takes time for our minds to catch up with our minds to catch up with our bodies and our breath. Just breathe. Just access who you are and allow your body to recoup, reset, and heal. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to send it back over to Bev.
Thank you, Kelitha, for that wonderful practice. Before we go, I want us to take some time to reflect on recent events that are happening around our city and our country. My offering is simply this: peace, be still. It's time to value and honor all lives. To be totally vulnerable, I'm an African-American woman and a mother of 2 sons, and I am fearful. But I will not allow fear to cripple me from sharing love to combat the hate. Please join us in spreading love and peace, understanding that we will not tolerate racist practices that have always been and continue to be. It's time to stop, and I ask that you implore in a peaceful manner to share the love and spread joy and peace through our world. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you Friday at 7:30 a.m. for our all-access yoga practice. As always, continue to visit our website, www.ymtpp.org, where you can practice anytime you want with our recorded practices, as well as have access to resources both in crises as well as in the times that we're living in today. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.